Hey guys, so my name is Ankit Verma and currently I am a graduate student of Management Science and Engineering at Columbia University, New York. Last year, around March or April, I got admits from 7 universities. So I applied to 7 universities and got admits from all of them. And in these, I guess, uh, 13 or 14 months, I have been getting a lot of emails, LinkedIn messages, and messages on Facebook and other social media about what did I do so that I didn't even receive a single rejection from any university I applied. I wrote an article about this last year in June. So people who don't like to watch videos or who cannot remember a lot of things from video and want some text format of what I am saying today, you may check out the article that I wrote. It's published on LinkedIn, and I will just make the link available in the description box. Uh, so to answer the question, how was I able to do this? So as you guys all know, or probably if you don't know, so the application process to for masters in the US and other universities outside India mostly have a lot of factors other than just academics, and everything has its own contribution and importance. But I actually think that my statement of purpose, which we call SOP, made the difference because it took me around or even more than a month to write, and I put a lot of effort and thinking into that, and ultimately what came out was something that even I couldn't believe that I was able to write. uh, and this is the style that I followed. Maybe it works, maybe it does not work for you, but because it worked for me, and I have been telling this to all those people who ask me, so I just want to explain what my thought process was, what I wrote, and I will even put the screenshots or maybe the lines from my original SOP on the screen, just in case if you want to have an idea. But please do not try to copy, because plagiarism is a very serious issue, especially in the academics in US universities. Okay, so the first part is quote. Not a lot of people start with quote, but yeah, there are a fair amount of people who do start and advise to start your SOP with a quote. Uh, because in quotes can have a really powerful message in very few words. So I guess it's a good start to make an impact. It's not necessary to include, of course. There are people who don't even write a quote and don't even follow the style that I am telling you and still get at good and very good admits. So, but yeah, so the quote that I wrote was, "It is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will win, but the one who can best manage change." This is by Charles Darwin. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that so there are two ways, I guess, in which you can use the quote. So usually what people do is they write a quote and it becomes an opening argument for their whatever they are writing, and they start the paragraph one in similar terms with the quote. But I I thought, let's try to use it in a different way, so that it not only becomes the opening statement or the opening argument of my SOP, but also becomes something that we call summary of, or basically the entire gist of everything that I'm going to write in this in just one quote or one single line. So as you might have guessed, so I tried to find a lot of quotes, Google and stuff like that, but obviously I didn't feel any quote good enough to start with, or have that kind of appeal to me. And this was not because all quotes are not that good enough. It was just because I was not very clear what I'm going to write about in my SOP. So, although quote appears in the very first line of your SOP, I would suggest if you are trying to follow my style of writing, try to think of what you plan to say, and then when you are about 50 or 60% done, you keep reading your paragraphs of SOP one day, like repeatedly for 2 3 days. Then you will get a feel that okay, these are the things that my SOP are majorly highlighting, and check whether they confirm with what you want to highlight, and they are not putting you in a negative aspect as well. So do that, and then you can find and try to find a code that matches that part. Code starts with, it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive. So it's kind of shows that maybe this candidate is not, you know, not a person with a very stellar academics, but still your quote justifies that, because it says like it is not the strongest or the most intelligent who will survive, but one who can best manage change. Also, one thing to note here is that, so sometimes people advise that, let's say you have a very low GPA, and just write about it and like try to justify it. I think it's not a very good idea to do that, because like you are trying to justify something, and instead if you can show that even with a low GPA I am a very strong candidate and you can consider me. So I guess showing is more relevant and I guess appealing rather than just saying or writing in the SOP. These are the two reasons. The third and the most important reason is it says that I admire change. Now, this is the point which is drawn from what I wanted to pursue here at Columbia, or for that matter, any university. So, my major is management science and engineering. Now, it basically deals with solving complex, challenging problems that evolve with time for various industries and businesses. So, it kind of gives an entire, that I am entire perception that I am a flexible person who knows that there are going to be changes frequently, and he or she knows to adapt to that. So, did you see, like, just one line can have so many interpretations, and it's, it's a very great technique as well, because if, let's say, if there is a line in English, if 10 people read it, they may have 10 different opinions about it. So, thinking about that and trying to, uh, trying to think from their part is a very good way, because even if the person tries to interpret it in one or the other way, the person has, a very positive impact. Whether it is not important to think on based on these 3 points, but if you can, try to think in multiple ways what people can think about it, then even if you don't include a quote, right, just start from paragraph 1, it's okay, but try to have the starting impact as powerful as you can. So the paragraph 1 starts with by taking the reader into a recent past, and as you can see on the screen, it starts with like when I was traveling to a summer internship back in 2017. Some event occurred, and my thought process started. Right. So when I wrote that, while traveling for that internship, I was basically thinking if like this thing could run even 1.5 times faster, I would have been on American soil, tasting American food and stuff like that. Now, what does this prove? This proves a lot of things. Firstly, like I didn't have to write something like another paragraph, or what people usually do is like they write everything and then at the end they include, okay, these are the internships that I did and things like that. Here you are carefully and intelligently, curating that and mixing it up in your SOP as well. The person now knows that yeah, you have done an internship, a summer internship, that too in USA in 2017. So you don't have to write it, elsewhere or in isolation, because it would look like you are putting that just for the sake of it or following some standard format. Don't try to do that. Like just think of the admissions committee. They read a lot of, a lot of similar things every day, and if I ask you, you need to read 10 or 20 or 50 similar things, you won't be that excited about that job, right? So try to give them something different, something they enjoy, something they remember, something that they want to talk to their friends, colleagues, family members. Like, hey, listen, today I read something which was quite different. So try to do that. So now when the reader knows my like I have done an internship and stuff like that, it also portrays that while commuting, although a lot of people waste time on different stuff, talking to people and things like that, I think of solutions. I think of problems, and it's not just like any other, and like it does not appear, and it should not appear like you have carefully thought this and written here. It should appear as if it's generally and naturally flowing in this. So because everything, like every time you travel, every time you are sitting in a train, bus, aircraft, you always think, like initially it's all good, but you always think, man, just land me, just like take me to the destination ASAP. So this is what the paragraph started with. Try to think, like try to understand this. Secondly, now you have some thought also, but a lot of thoughts cross our minds, like thousand thoughts cross our minds every day, but we don't act on all of them. But you need to show the admissions committee that you act on the thoughts that you care about or something that interests you. So you should, like this paragraph should not end here. It should like try to portray something like, okay, what you did next. If you have this thought, did you go somewhere, like go took a extra mile and try to do that. Also, me writing 1.5 times its current speed, so it shows that I have a kind of technical mathematical sense, because the degree program that I was applying to is management science and engineering, and it requires quite a bit of maths, especially in the track that I was trying to focus on. So it shows the reader that. So if you see, I'm continuously saying try to show, not write, because if you show something to the reader, it will create a picture in the mind of that reader. He or she or the person will never forget that, at least in that course of time. Also, mentioning about the American meal suggests that I am not a very boring person. I am not going to or want to come to United States just for the sake of education. I want to explore. I want to know the culture. I want to mingle with people. This kind of, because no one wants, like it's just like, you are trying to hire someone in your team. You won't try, like if there are two individuals with almost similar capabilities, skills, knowledge, etc., then you would try to hire someone who is more, interesting, who you like to talk to, because day in and day out you have to be there. And the admissions committee might think, okay, like, oh, everything is good about this person, but if he is not interesting enough, he is not able to or willing enough to, try and explore different things, and what's the, maybe he will not broad bring that much of diversity in the classroom, or maybe, like it's just about the try to think of the perspectives. Maybe the admissions committee person does not think into this much detail, but what if the person is. Like as I said earlier also, there are a lot of ways to interpret things, and you want to, try to capture or try to go into a lot of those perceptions what the person can have. Proceeding forward, it would be like, okay, so this 1.5 times should have been, but then or naturally the person should go, okay, but what if we had that 1.5 times, like had that kind of technology back in the day, and it turns out that it was. So try to write about that, and it kind of surprises the reader as well. And just think about the person and you as a reader. Like, how many of you knew that there was something called Concorde flights which could fly at twice the speed of sound before I told you this? Not a lot. I'm damn sure not a lot. I was not. I got to know this in my final year of project back in NIT Allahabad from a friend. I didn't even know that we had that technology, that too in 1969. It's very, very amazing. So you see, you try to engage the person now. You are trying to draw his or her attention into that. That is very important because the person will now continue. Like, okay, because the initial impressions, see, you had given a lot of initial impressions just in the first paragraph, and I'm spending a lot of time in this because the first paragraph or the starting of anything, maybe this video, maybe an article, maybe a movie, the first 10-15 minutes, first lines are very crucial because that what drives the interest in the reader or the viewer. Try to do that. So you give perception that, okay, this person has a summer internship, that too in USA. He has a mathematical ability and sense. He not only just thinks about stuff just for the sake of it, but also tries to find if we had something earlier. Now a lot of people will stop the paragraph here, but it should not. Again, it's your SOP. You wrote something which are just facts. Where are you in this? Right? Where are you in this? You have to have that personal touch in SOP. Don't write it just for the sake of it, like, okay, first paragraph should be an introduction about yourself, the body should be various stuff you did, and include some medals, trophies, and stuff like that, and end that, okay, this university is very good, I would like to learn more. No, everyone does that. Don't try to do that because it's because then again your application is no different than other person. There are people who have perfect scores, perfect everything, perfect articles. How do you stand different? Like, how do you make yourself remember? That is very, very important. Try to think, like, whenever you write a line or a two, try to think what different perceptions people could have are, like, and can the person remember. Your entire 100 lines of the SOP should not be like that, like, and does not need to be like that. But yeah, some of the lines, some of the things, it's just like a TV show. Again, I would say, you remember some scene, some part, some dialogue, and you say, okay, that movie or TV series was a great hit, or was very interesting to you. Try to do that. It's just incorporating those values into your SOP. It's very, very important. Now another thing, okay, so if there was some possibility or some technological stuff back in the day, the reader's mind would automatically go to, but if we had that some stuff back in 1969, why are we still running on, like, why are you still using aircrafts that could hardly touch 1,000 miles per hour? And then you need to you need to complete your paragraph. You need to, don't leave your reader into a state of question. Sometimes it's good, but if you don't mention it other, like, anywhere else in your SOP, then it would try to leave a kind of a bad impression. That if that's the case, then why are we not using that? Maybe the person, and maybe it could be interpreted like, okay, if you leave here, it could have a positive impact also. The person tries to figure it out by himself or herself. But still it's not giving a good vibe about you. So try that. Okay, you found a problem, you found something, you then try to see, okay, then why is it not being used. You write the problem, and then try to incorporate what I told, like this is the problem, but yeah, okay, then now where are you into this. So now you can suggest, like, okay, and even before that, if you see, I have written, so this is where my proverb, the above proverb struck me. Now again, like initially by reading the quote, the reader may have that in like impression about me, that okay, just like a lot of people, this guy has also started with a quote. Okay, never mind, he may or may not even read the entire quote and just start from paragraph 1. But now what I have tried, I have not written the quote, I have just written this. This is the time when the above proverb struck me. The reader would have to go back, okay, what was the proverb, like how is it coherent. And you see, like this is what I'm trying to do, to go back and forth. And if you see, if you read my entire SOP, you will keep seeing this pattern, back and forth. Try to, like, remember, like, try to end your paragraphs every time by saying and emphasizing on what program or what are you trying to do here. Because that continuously leaves that perception in the mind that okay, this person is applying for this thing, this for this thing, a kind of aggressive, but I guess it's a, like, this is my style of writing, and I thought it works sometime. But yeah, you need to have that, just like out of 100 lines, 50 lines should not be I want to this, I want to do this. So obviously you need to have that curation, but it comes with a lot of iterations. And don't think that I wrote this entire thing in just one go. I don't even remember how many iterations it took to finally reach here. Like, I finished this paragraph with the text that you see on the screen, so that it cemented my belief that you don't only need to know the engineering part or the engineering aspects of problem, but also the economic stuff. I told you, right? So it can, the reader can perceive that okay, this person is kind of flexible. Now this is reiterating and bolstering that point, that okay, this person has again tried to mention that okay, this there is, like, the person does not stick to his or her domain only. He tries to go interdisciplinary, tries to you know migrate between different subjects just to learn. So he or she won't stuck to whatever the courses that would be taught here at Columbia. Try to explore, try to learn, and that is what people value. And if you see, I told you earlier that management science and engineering is all about solving problems and challenges and of businesses, and but businesses have a lot of technical issues as well. So you see how coherent it becomes. So it already puts in the mind of the reader that maybe the person who has written this already has his mind construct into this field, so he can be a good fit, right? So it makes sense, right? So that is what I'm trying to say. Try not to, so what you can take from this paragraph 1 is try to show, not just simply write. Make the person go back to something, so that, and try to reiterate whatever the initial perception, the what you think can a reader, like a reader can have about you. Try to do that. And also don't finish your paragraphs just in the middle. If there is a question that can come into the mind of the reader, try to answer that yourself. Try to and in every paragraph, try to connect whatever you said back to how and why are you applying to this program, and how is this going to help. But don't just simply write this is like this program will help me learn this. No, I guess if you do write that, but how is that program is going to help you in this. Try to do that.